That's okay. So while Jim's doing his background, I'll just go into my own little spiel. So you're after a lot of hiccups, unbelievable. We are finally on the podcast, Get Busy Living podcast. That's right. That's what you're seeing right now, the Get Busy podcast with Dr. Scott from Sixth Sense Acupuncture. I'm a registered acupuncturist and Chinese herbalist. And we have a lovely guest today, Jeff Sommers. Jeff Sommers, I got it right today this morning. I screwed it up earlier. So thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us. Much appreciated for your time. We finally got there. It only took us an hour to get on the podcast. So thank you for joining us. We'll make this one short. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. No problem.
So, Jim, we'll start off with the 4 questions. So tell us, Jim, what gets you out of bed every morning?
It's Jeff again. And what gets me out of bed is that I love living. I love being alive. I love being healthy. And my previous background was pharmacy. And one of the things I learned was that you don't rely on drugs to get better. You rely on your healthy lifestyle, which I have adopted. And that keeps me going. And I also, because of my background in pharmacy, I've always helped people with their health. Now I'm helping people with their online presence. I help people market their business to get more customers and attract more enthusiastic clients and loyal clients. And I build their reputation online. That's what I love doing. And I love learning. I will never stop. And that's what I keep doing all the time. Always on webinars and that.
So that, well, you've sort of answered the second question. Well, you've sort of answered the second question partly. Yeah. But so tell us how you got into marketing and strategies for marketing as well.
Well, basically, when I was a pharmacist, I had a very good reputation. And, probably the best reputation I ever got, or best testimonial I ever got, was when I was leaving Sydney and going up to the Newcastle area. The guy who was leaving Sydney said he'd consider giving me a bad reputation, a bad review.
Oh, and really?
If he gave me a bad one, it would be, I couldn't go anywhere else. I would have to stay and work for him. So that's probably the best review you could ever get. And in a roundabout way. So anyway, I know how important reputation is. I came to Queensland. When in New South Wales, I got every job I went after, and there was a lot because I was doing locum work, 3 weeks here, 4 weeks there, go out of one job straight into the other. When I come to Queensland, I ran into a surplus of pharmacists, and because nobody knew me, they were going for the younger guys. The last job I worked at in New South Wales, I outlasted 3 young pharmacists who couldn't take the pressure. But anyway, I couldn't get enough work up here. And on top of that, if you don't work within so many hours, you lose your registration. So I had to look for something else to do. So I started setting up websites. And then I branched out from there and I got into reputation. And I know how important that is. And because I was the go-to person in pharmacy for difficult customers, I know how to reply to reviews. And especially for bad ones, I can actually quite often turn a bad review into a good one by the way I answer it. And the thing is that a lot of people don't realise that when you reply to review, number one, you're letting everyone that reads it know that you care. And on top of that, you're not responding to the person who left the review. Your response is to the person who is going to read it. Yes. One person leaves it, but you could have 1,000. One person leaves it, but 1,000 could read it. And that's what you're after, getting those people that are going to read it. You want them to come and contact you. One of the best
Yes.
examples I have for that is I had one guy who was a motor mechanic, and he had a lady come in with an Auto Guru service, and there's no profit in Auto Guru. It just gets you in the door so they can sell you something else. But anyway, she came in for that, and when he started working on the when he started working on the vehicle, he found that there was a major oil leak. So he rang the lady up and said, "You want me to fix it now?" She said, "No, I haven't got the money now. Do it later." She came and picked the car up. That night, she left a review saying that he had the car all day and didn't fix the oil leak. So we set up a reply saying that he found the oil leak immediately after he started working on the vehicle. He rang the lady and she said, "Don't do it now, do it later." And then we added in, "We do not do work we are not authorised to do."
Yeah.
Now, anyone reading that is going to know, I'm not going to put my car in here and come back with $1,000 job that I thought was only going to cost me 200.
Yeah.
So that's how you turn a bad one into a good one. And
That's a
that's what
great
I love
analogy.
doing.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, you I think you told me about a when you were a chemist, there was a lady you had an issue with, and you turned it around completely. And
Well, I
I
had
was,
a
I
guy
was
came
stunned.
in one time because I'd given him the wrong medication, and it wasn't serious because it was just a different brand of the same medication.
Oh yeah,
But I shouldn't have done it. And what made it worse was another pharmacist had done the same mistake 6 months earlier. And I didn't when he came in, I didn't make an excuse. I didn't say, well, it doesn't matter. I didn't try and
yeah,
make any excuse at all. I just said, I'll fix it. So I gave him the correct medication. He went away, and for the next 3 months, I was the person he asked for when he came in. So,
yeah,
people
just
want to know you care. And this is the
yeah.
main thing with marketing. You've got to show that you care. And there's too many
Yeah,
people out there that are only after the money and not after looking after clients. So
that's
that's
very
the big,
true.
big thing.
So just I know this is not what you do anymore, but just tell us how you got into chemistry, how you got into uh,
The
pharmacy.
pharmacy, well, I just drifted into it. When I was at school, they'd had what they call a vocational guidance interview. And you go along and you answer a whole lot of questions, and they try and tell you what jobs you're suited for. And one of the questions they do ask you for is, what are you interested in? Well, I wasn't interested in anything, but people suggested I could be an accountant or a pharmacist. So I gave them those uh, professions. And when the answer came back, it says, well, you could do pharmacy or you could do accountancy. Matter of fact, you can do anything. So evidently I was suited for anything virtually. So I could have been anything, but I just picked pharmacy and I just got a job. And
Yeah,
I had to go lived in Newcastle. I had to go to Sydney to do uni because that was the only place they had it. So went off down there, found an apprenticeship, and this is the only two times I missed out on jobs because one guy was after a female and I didn't qualify for that. And another one was after somebody who spoke Italian and I didn't speak Italian. So they were virtually the only two jobs I missed out on that I really wanted. But I got started and I was put on a month's trial. Back in those days, it was an apprenticeship. I put on a month's trial. Within 1 week, I was signed up. So
wow.
he made up his mind quickly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you had a 30-year career, is that right, in chemistry?
Yeah,
As a pharmacist?
actually a bit more than that. But I really loved it. Now I'm glad I'm out of it because of all the stuff with COVID and all that. I'm glad I'm not coping with that in pharmacy.
Yeah, yeah. There's so
What was the reason? Why did you end up leaving the pharmaceutical industry?
Oh, because as I said, when I come out here, I couldn't get enough work. And if you don't get enough work, you lose your registration.
Yeah, right.
I was no longer
I think
registered.
I think they're a bit more lenient now, from what I heard.
Well, I don't
Uh,
know, but there is a shortage now, I believe.
well, I suppose they have to be lenient
Mm.
if you got a shortage.
Mm.
So that's awesome. So tell us another a story about how you've turned it around. Just from a marketing point of view, how you turned a client around from aggressive to a consumer.
Yeah, well, basically, it's a matter of optimizing their online presence because a lot of the people haven't bothered optimizing it. They might have a website up. The best one you can have is a WordPress website, and you should host it locally. Now, I've seen too many people with Wix or Squarespace, and that's just a cheap thing. I've actually had stories about people who have had a Wix uh, uh, website, and Wix didn't like something they did, so they took it down. At
Oh
least with
wow,
WordPress, you own it,
yeah,
and
okay,
the only way you can lose it is you stop paying the hosting fee
yeah,
because
I
you've got to
understand.
pay hosting fees all the time. And I've got an agreement here with a company here in Brisbane, and they host all my websites, and they have the best uh, support that I know of. All I got to do is ring them up, and I get it onto somebody straight away, and it's usually fixed up pretty quickly. And I try and get all my clients onto that platform, and it's a platform called Kinetics. At the server here is here in Brisbane, and the offices are actually in Ipswich, but they're just a
So
phone
it's
call
local.
away. Yeah,
That's local.
local,
That's rich.
and if it's local, it loads faster. If you've got a website that's hosted in America, there's all that distance, for the
Yeah,
messages to travel. But
it's got to
hosted here
bounce
is
back. So it's
and
got to
they're
go.
also a lot of techniques and that, and they can help. They can even look after a website for you. Mm. So I love
Yeah,
all
right.
that.
So how did you? Yeah. So how did you learn all that? Did you obviously once you got out of pharmacy, you went on
Yeah,
a
well, I went to Sydney and did a 3-day course on how to set up a website. Came back, couldn't set up a website. So and I spoke to a guy here on the Gold Coast, and I spent a day with him. And then after that, I couldn't understand how I found it hard in the first place.
yeah,
So I know how to set up websites. But then again, what I know now, what I learned then would be useless now because everything's changed so much. And
yeah,
with AI coming in, and I've had to sort of really get to know AI, it's made a big difference. I've even got a system at the moment where I can give a business a, a video script, and I can do several hundred of them from an ordinary website. Although it doesn't work on a one-page website because there's nothing there. But one guy recently is a franchisor. I gave him 30 video scripts that he can send off to all his franchisees, and each one of them can actually read the video script. Because they're all different, you can do that. And they were different people. And when you are actually talking yourself on video, it's a lot better with know, like, and trust. They can see you, they can hear you speak rather than just read your words. That's the best way. And they're just little short videos that, 30, 45 seconds, you put those up, and people tend to read them more than, or listen to them more than long ones. And there's a whole series of them, put them up one every couple of days for a month or longer. And consistency is king. Wait a couple of months, repeat it. That's the strategy I'm recommending at the moment. So
okay.
get about 30 of them and just recommend them.
Or,
Keep doing them. Yeah.
rebrand them, what sort of thing, rehash them, the
Yeah.
videos.
And the thing is that people like to see, to know, like, and trust you. They don't like to hear about you just on the with words. They want to see you. They want to
Yep.
hear you. And that works out on the videos. So the old thing was content is king. Now it's video content is king.
Yes.
So that's the best way of doing it now. And
Yeah, right.
who I work with, I'm trying to work mainly with local businesses. And local businesses, Google's made a big thing about their Google business profile, which is especially for local business. And you put in there all the details about your business. And I help with that because I help to optimize that. And that's where you get most of your testimonials sent to. And the only way to get testimonials is to ask people. And you make it easy for them. You can give them a link, or I've got a little card that you can just tap on their phone, will take you straight through to it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Those are things that I've got available. And it's easier when you've just did a service for somebody, electrician, look, did I do a good job? Did I leave it clean? Do you mind give me a review? Yeah, just tap this on their phone and they can go straight to the page, give 5 stars or 5 or 4 or 5, whatever they like, and a little comment. And, you got the review straight away. Then you got to reply to it.
Yeah.
The replies are good because it lets everybody know that you're interested in what people are saying.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And also, like you said, the reader as well. The reader is important.
Yeah. Sometimes people just ask for a review, but they don't give them a link. And a lot of people find it too hard because online these days is not always easy.
No,
So
that's right.
you make it as easy for them as possible. And a lot of people that are, if you're a motor mechanic, you're not really up to date on all the things online. So you've got to rely on somebody like me to get it all up to date for you.
I think another thing, Jeff, is bigger companies are starting to listen to that what you just said, because I remember, like 5-10 years ago, they send you a link to do a survey, and it'd be like they say, "Oh, can you give us 5 minutes?" Be like 10-15 minutes later, you're still filling out the survey. But now the surveys are much quicker. I do the same thing. I actually do the same thing, Jeff. Every time I have contact with someone, I ask them to leave feedback.
Yeah, feedback's good, and let you know how you're going. And sometimes if you get a bad comment, it means that you've got to look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Occasionally, sometimes people have unrealistic expectations. So it's just not real what they expect, and we've all got to accept that. But a lot of people have got genuine grievances, and it's a good idea to address that all the time. Try and make sure that you give the best service possible.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. And and that's what I say to clients is, I need your feedback, because how am I going to fix up the screw ups that I do then? I don't know what they are.
Well, the thing is, one of the things I also know is that it's impossible to please 100% of the people 100% of the time. Somewhere along the line, somebody's going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that you try and attend to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
You don't know what they've been through that day. You don't know what they've been through.
And the other thing too is, with what I do, what I do is permanent. When I set you up with anything, it stays online. If you're working on advertising only works while you're paying for the ads. But having said that, websites and Google business profiles and that, and even your Facebook page are not set and forget. You got to put regular posts on there.
Information, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why these little videos are very good, because you can put
Yes.
them up, and I give you a little post introduction for Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram for each of those videos, so that you can actually introduce the video and then put the video there for them to see.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I try personally. I try to do 2 a day, one in the morning and one. So I've done my first one
Yeah,
with this podcast, and I'll do another one this afternoon. I've got a
yeah,
few things on today, so
yeah. Well, I'm a bit lax at doing them for myself. I try and do them for my clients, but sometimes you get tied up doing stuff for other people and forget about doing it yourself.
yeah, that's true. But like you said, it only takes a minute. You just gotta pick a subject and just talk about it.
Yeah, well, this is my problem, is trying to find all the subjects. And this is why I love this videos thing and AI, because AI can come up with a whole lot of different subjects. And what I'm looking
Yeah,
at the moment is putting up a FAQ page on my website. That's a frequently asked questions, and at the same time putting a question and answers set up on my Google business profile.
yeah.
With the Google business profile, your answer has got to be in less than 500 words, 500 characters, I think it is.
Oh yeah.
So that's about 70 words.
So AI can figure that out pretty quickly.
And AI can actually give you those answers. You got to check it though, because the thing is that a lot of the times that they give you these things, there could be some errors in there,
Yes.
and so you've got to make sure that it's right and actually applies to your business, and not applies to somebody else's.
Yes. Yes.
But the way to work AI is to actually teach AI how you think and what your business is. I've got to pay a prompt which goes through a full A4 page that I put in there that tells them about my business, including a script that I've already written.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they take that script and they work out how I normally phrase things. Some people work on long sentences, some work on short ones. Some people are very descriptive, and others are just very some are motivational and things like that. So I've got to teach it how I normally talk, and it just duplicates that in all its answers. And it keeps learning all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
You ask it questions, and then when you come across something else a bit later, it can remember the early questions that you asked and the replies it gave, and just keeps building on it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So you've done really well, Jeff. So I'll just go. So what's your ideal client or ideal avatar?
My ideal client is a local business. I've been specialising lately in tradies, but any local business I can help. And the whole idea is that try and improve their presence in their local area. And one of the things I'm adding in too is local directories. Local directories give you backlinks to or authority backlinks to your website. And one of the feedback I got was one particular lady said that since I did that, she's getting a lot more hits on her website, because Google has picked up on that and they're sending more people to it. All these backlinks all count. They don't count as much as they used to, but they still all count.
Yeah, blogs as well. Yeah, blogs on your website.
Oh, blogs, yeah. Put blogs up there, keep giving information, and that's just keeping your website active.
Yeah. Yep. So the longer someone stays on your website, from what I've been told, the more Google likes that.
Oh yeah.
and sends more traffic to your website if they're watching it more, looking at it longer.
And people are, if you get some videos on your website, it's good, but also don't have the blogs too long. People have got a shorter attention span now.
Yeah.
So you've got to make it nice and concise. Use bullet points, which is very good, and also have short paragraphs, just two sentences. And then start another paragraph, so they can read it quickly.
All right. So I'll before I go into the last question, I'll just tell us another story about how you, same again, you've had a difficult client, and you've turned it around into a consumer. You've got some great stories. You've got some great stories.
Yeah, well, I've got one guy who I had a lot of trouble with him with his Google business profile because he kept trying to set up his business under different names from the same premises, and he works from home. Google doesn't like that.
Yeah.
One business, one site. That's what they want. So he ended up getting his sites banned. So I ended up having to try and sort that out for him, so that we ended up with just one site, and at that particular premises, and we got it going.
Yeah, don't move. That's another one. Don't move. When you move, oh my God, the hoops you got to jump through.
Oh yeah. Well, you can. When I moved from the Gold Coast up here to the Logan area, and I just put in an application, and it was approved straight away with a change of address. But a lot depends on the history that you've got with Google. If you've got a good history, they tend to approve it a lot easier. So make sure that your history is very good. Don't do things that are going to upset them. And Google make it easy. They're giving us a whole lot of things to do to make it easy online. And you've got to follow those guidelines. You keep hearing people about, oh, there's a loophole here. They've missed this. If there's a loophole that you can get in and do something, Google will find it and close it. Make sure you take advantage of what they do give you and use it to the best of your ability. That's the advice I would give. Don't try and trick them.
Yeah.
Don't try and bypass their rules. You might get away with it for a short time, but they'll catch up to you.
Yeah. They use your AI now, so they're onto most things.
Yeah. Well, everybody's been using AI for ages.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you're using GPS to get anywhere, it's AI.
Yeah, people have been writing books about it for close to a decade now. So
yeah, well, I'm going to a seminar next week from a guy that's been using it since 2015. So it's not actually new. Netflix, they even use AI because they give you suggestions for movies to watch based on what you watched in the last few weeks.
Previously.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go into the last question. So tell us, Jim, what rules or ideas would you go by to attain lifelong longevity?
Right. Number one, don't eat McDonald's. I haven't had a McDonald's hamburger in the last 30 years. I haven't had any Coke for the last 30 years either. So basically what it is that you try and stick with healthy food. And I believe 80% of food in a supermarket is unhealthy. So vegetables, that's the main thing, and a bit of meat. I have cereal for morning that I make myself, no flour, because flour tends to put on weight very fast for me. Limit sugar as much as possible. As I said, fruit and vegetables. Fish is good. And for your immune system, I would say, well, you get vitamin D from the sun, vitamin C. I have blueberries every morning, and that gives me my vitamin C. I have a zinc tablet, Zinc is very good for the immune system. And
And for
I
me,
have a magnesium at night, which is good for your heart, your muscles, and all the sorts of things like that. And magnesium used for a whole lot of things. And so they're the main ones I have. And I also cook with garlic. Garlic is nature's antibiotic. So I very rarely get a cold or a flu.
Yep.
And that's the way to live longer and also keep away from stress
Mhm.
as much as possible and keep moving. They're the main
Yep.
things that I would suggest. And
Yes.
this has kept me going and kept me healthy. So
Some great pieces of advice there, Jeff. Thank you so much for your time. It was a terrible hour prior to this last half an hour.
yes.
Trying to get into studios, and but thank you so much for your time. That was gold. Wished I could have gone into more depth with you, but yeah, that's the other thing was if you can leave your details in. I've got 3 platforms. I'll get my VA to give you the links to those 3 platforms so you can leave your details. So if people have more questions for you or want to get in contact with you, they can through your website or whatever contact details you have. Do you have a book or anything like that too, Jeff?
No, I haven't written anything.
Right.
But and one of the things I've got is a calendar link, which people can use to book a Zoom meeting with me, and we can go into details on that. And then I can give anybody that wants a free or complimentary online presence analysis, so that they know how they're appearing online, what they're doing right, and might have some suggestions for improvement.
Awesome.
That's one of the things I'm offering people at the moment.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Jeff. Much appreciated for your time.
Thanks, Scott.
And you've been watching the Get Busy Living podcast with Dr. Scott and Jeff Sommers. Thank you so much. What's the name of your business too?
The reputation marketing specialist.
Reputation
marketing specialist. Yeah. And it's just
So, yeah,
reputationmarketingspecialist.com.au, and then Jeff at reputationmarketingspecialist.com.au to get in touch with me.
So there you go, guys. Get in touch with Jeff if you want to know more about marketing and any strategies you need for your business to get more leads. Because, I mean, yeah, that's how you scale your business. And as I said, you've been watching the Get Busy Living podcast. You have a great day, and I'll see you next week.
Okay. Thanks very much. Okay. All the best.
Thanks, Jim. Jeff.
Yep.
Jeff.